Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. If it wasn't obvious to you by now, I read a lot of manga and I also watch a lot of anime. I always get asked on my lives for anime recommendations, what anime I'm watching right now. So since I get asked all the time, I wanted to create a video of one that I recently just finished that I really liked, and maybe you'll find a new anime that you like too. The anime I'm talking about is Kaiju number 8, a monster fantasy shonen anime that came out on the 13th of April of this year and ended after 12 episodes on the 29th of June. I've normally got a really good radar for new anime, and normally I'm first on the scene when a new anime comes out because I'm always looking for a new anime to watch. But this one completely evaded me for the full season. I literally just watched it last week, which was a week after it ended. So it was very strange when I heard about this from Dose of Anime on Instagram, when they put up a post showing the Kaiju Season 1 ratings in comparison to the Attack on Titan Season 1 ratings. And when I saw that, I was super interested and wanted to see what this anime is about, if it had the same level of ratings for Attack on Titan Season 1. I'd heard absolutely nothing about this anime, so my interest was instantly piqued. Kaiju number 8 is the 60th animated series brought to us by the colossal and world famous studio Production IG, which has also brought us the iconic anime such as Haikyuu, Psycho Pass, and the Neon Genesis Evangelion and Ghost in the Shell movies. These guys are legit. These have some of the best anime out there. I was going straight in knowing that this was going to be a good one. You really get the Evangelion and Ghost in the Shell vibes from the desaturated and lifelike visuals and art style. And although this style might not appeal to everyone, the striking bright colors and creative character and monster designs of the kaiju really contrast the realism versus the fantasy aspects of the anime. And what's an iconic anime without an iconic opening? For the first time, a famous Western artist delivered the opening track for an anime. English singer and musician Yungblud did a fantastic job delivering this. And personally, I absolutely love this opening track. I've been listening to it non-stop all week. It's probably up there with my favorite opening songs for anime, especially in 2024. I think it's right there beside Mashal's Season 2 by Creepy Nuts. It's so good. You should just look it up by itself. I'll put the link for it in my description. In the past 15 years, anime has completely evolved into a worldwide global interest with over 100 million watchers worldwide. 4 years ago in 2020, the overseas anime market surpassed Japan's, with a total market size of $10.9 billion in compared to Japan's $10.4 billion. This is actually a significant milestone because for the first time, the Japanese market was dependent on the overseas market for market growth. So for Production IG to do an opening track with a Western artist like Yungblud, it's a really big step in the direction of globalization for the anime industry. And hopefully will pave the way for more Western bands and artists to be opening and ending tracks for anime. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion, please. From here, I'm going to drop a spoiler warning because I'm going to give an overall basis of the storyline for Season 1, Episode 1. If you don't want to hear this part, skip now. The basis of the story for me was like a mix between Attack on Titan meets Chainsaw Man with the art style and character design of Haikyuu and Evangelion. Kafka Hibino, the main character, was a child when he lost his home in his neighborhood to a kaiju attack, and since then has always had a passion to join the Japanese anti-kaiju defense force, alongside his best friend Mina Ashiro, who also lost her neighborhood and cat in the same attack. However, unluckily, Kafka could never pass the Japanese anti-kaiju defense force entrance exams until he is 32 and a kaiju enters his body and forms a symbiotic relationship with him. And where have we seen this before? Aha. This is again only my opinion, but the defense force and the anti-kaiju suits very much remind me of Attack on Titan and the Scout Squad's 3D maneuver gear. All that being said though, I think the story does place a good individual spin on the anti-kaiju suits, working differently for each individual character. and their individual fighting styles. Another thing that reminds me of Attack on Titan is there's a great fear for the kaiju, but just like the Titans, humanity doesn't seem to know a lot about the kaiju, and this really plays out the same way as it does in Attack on Titan. Main character loses family and home to monsters, joins agency to fight back at monsters, becomes the monster, gets used by the organization to fight the monsters. Who does that sound like? It's becoming a super common storyline in the anime industry and has been done at least 3 times before from popular animated series. And the only original part about this anime is the kaiju element, I think. The artist could probably see that after Attack on Titan anime ended, that there was a void to fill in the monster category for anime. But with all that being said, I actually did personally really like this anime because I don't mind if anime are similar to each other, as long as the anime I'm watching is gripping, entertaining, and original in its own way. And I feel that's everything that kaiju is. I would rate it an 8.2 out of 10, and here are my reasons as to why I enjoyed it. I liked how no time was wasted and the anime instantly jumped into the kaiju attack on Tokyo, with the Japanese anti-kaiju defense force rushing in to stop the monster. Instantly, our interest is piqued and we're interested in the development of the situation on screen and in turn, the characters who have come to save the day. This is just me, but I'm personally happy and relieved that all the main characters in the defense force and the anime are over 18. And this isn't another anime with open acts of child endangerment and neglect, getting 14-year-olds to save the world before bedtime. It's a refreshing change that a monster anime has an older character age median, which can then in turn appeal to an older adult audience and not just children and teenagers for relatable characters within the same age ranges. I'm also extremely grateful for the lack of fan service and the genuinity, if that's a word, of all the female main characters, because if I have to see one more Asuna body pillow, I am going to lose my life. You do know she's 14 years old, right? There's only so much fan service a person can handle in their life. What I really enjoyed about this anime and what set it apart from most other anime in 2024 so far was its ability to maintain a perfect balance of fast-paced action, good comedy relief, and absorbing storytelling. Each character is well developed with their own unique motivations and backstories for joining the defense force. Besides the familiarity of the storyline, the only other thing that brought it down to an 8.2 for me, and it's a big thing for me in action combat anime, was the plot armor for every character in season 1. It didn't matter how many air holes were pumped through vital organs, how many times a character was bounced off a wall at 100 kilometers per hour, or how many bones should have been crushed to dust. The suit healed and protected against everything. If you've seen Attack on Titan, you know that a lack of plot armor doesn't take away from the anime, but only makes us more invested in every fight and appreciate the character more, so this was a major setback for me. But at the end of the day, this is just my opinion on the first 12 episodes. You could have loved it and think my opinion is BS, and that is totally valid. Please tell me what you thought of season 1 of Kaiju number 8 in the comments, and if there's any other anime you want me to review, please leave them in the comments as well. Have a good day!